team of Kibbutz Reim. First of all, you are standing now in the national burn Assam barn of Israel. Most of the agricultural products comes from here. If it's cucumbers or wheat, and we use rain. We look at rain as a good, as a bless, as a cleaning. So you have you're lucky to have a rain day in our region. And if you will go by the road, you will look to the right, you will see a brown and dry. Now it's not dry, but you can see the land turning from brown to green. And this is one of the wonders that I can see and consider in this region and area. It's soon it will be like Toscana. Everything will be green. Everything from edge to edge green. Afterwards, colorful, and you come in the right time. The most beautiful season in the year, actually. Now to the 7th of October in Kibbutz Reim. First of all, Ilan give me a little bit closures with a piece of information that I didn't have, and just made a closure for me from what I hear for him. You have to understand that most of the security officers like me don't know what happened in other kibbutzes. Everyone is concentrated in his kibbutz. We had a very big problem. Each one and one of us have a big problem in his kibbutz or moshav, and he is concentrated in his moshav. We don't know yet what happened all over. And in each kibbutz or moshav or a settlement happen things with which we didn't have the time to gather it and know it. So I will tell you what happened in Kibbutz Reim, and it starts like Ilan's start at 6:30 in the morning. Very enormous noises of lunges from Gaza. All the kibbutz getting wake, sending it to the. I'm phoning to the first response team, civilian team of my kibbutz. It calls the Tzachi. It's emergency team of the Kibbutz Reim. Okay, he is in charge of connecting to the civilians and to the municipality and bring them information, get information from them. And I'm calling him because we are working in a very tight cooperation. It's like two hands of the same body. Okay. He is the civilian response, and I'm the army response. So the first response squad team. I call him and I ask him if he's awake. He tells me he says that he's awake and he can hear all the noise, and he says that it's he thinks that it's a distraction for invasion to the Israel area. And he asked me to take out the first response team. I'm calling to Ilan because he is not my commander. And when you are taking out the first response team, it have a heavy weight because all the kibbutz knows, and it's a panic opportunity. So I'm calling to Ilan, and he says that there is a invasion, or a lot of invasion, all the region. Like the region starts in Zikim and ends in Camp Shalom, 60 kilometers of border between the Israel and the Gaza envelope, and all of that is exposed to invasion. And then I'm I'm calling to my team, and I'm telling them to be prepared, take out the weapons, turn on the radios, and to come out and join me, protecting the western side of the kibbutz, which is the most threatable area. With me, there is another 4 response team. We are only 4 now. With me, it's 5, and we are couples. We are taking over the fence, and we are looking outside from the kibbutz outside to the valley, to the Absor Valley. We have a river. It's a dry river usually, but it's a river that goes to Gaza, to the Mediterranean. It means that you can come from the Gaza Strip into Israel very discreet. You can you can go from this Gaza Strip to Beersheba uncovered. It's only if someone knows that you come in, and they operate special equipment to locate you. Okay. Now we are looking at the road, and as Ilan said, suddenly we see 2 pickups comes with people sitting outside the pickup, and I'm calling Ilan again. I'm asking, it's theirs or ours? Because we are the last thing that we want is to harm Israeli soldiers, and because of that doubt, we are not shooting at them. And it is terrorists. We are not shooting them. We could end the story or decrease the damage if we would attack them then, but we don't. So they go to their way, and at that time another person calls me, and he says that another member of the first response team calls me. He says that he is ready, and I'm telling that I'm coming to collect him. We are going there. It's in the nearby the gate that you got in from, and I'm collecting him, and then we hear explosion. We are starting to search, and we see 15, 20 terrorists coming by foot from this gate. They didn't manage to open it. They managed to open a small gate that they can come in by foot, but not with the cars. Okay, so we can see them coming in by foot. We shoot at them. We kill one of them, and then they start to shoot at us. Now the problem is that we all didn't believe that it can happen in Israel, that the terrorists will come into the kibbutz, into my house, and try to kill our civilians. We cannot accept it. We cannot believe it. That's why till not they shoot at me. For me, there were soldiers that came in. Exactly as Ilan said, we see the vehicles. It's obvious that they are not soldiers, but we still don't believe that that this is terrorists. In that time, I'm calling for my radio, with my radio, for another couple to come in to replace me, because I'm in a very exposed area. And they come to replace me, and I'm coming to this area, to the area where your car stands. And here we can hear explosions, and then machine guns shooting, and we call it a street clearance. It's something that we are practice against the terrorists. Now they are doing it the other ways. They are clearing our houses. I can see from here the house set on fire, and I can hear the explosions. In that time, I called to a neighbor daughter, and I asked her, "Where are you?" And she says that she's not in the kibbutz. A big stone was relieved, and I can continue to fight. And actually, from this path You can see like 3 streets of this neighborhood, and each time I'm coming from this path, I can see someone, I kill him. I go to the other path, I can see him, I kill him, and that's the way of action. Actually, just shoot and hide, shoot and hide. We call it delaying battle. We are not forcing. We are not going to kill we are not trying to get in contact with the terrorists. We are trying to delay because if they come out from this neighborhood, they go to the kibbutz, the rest of the kibbutz, and they kill old people, small children and women, and it is necessary that they will stay in this part of the neighborhood. This neighborhood is a neighborhood of from 18 to 30. There is no families in this neighborhood, and in a way, this is our luck that they picked this neighborhood and not a neighborhood in the center of the kibbutz. You are actually standing now in the heart of the kibbutz. This is the kindergartens from here to a bit eastern. And this is the heart of the kibbutz. This is the most important place to protect the civilian area, the livelihood area. And me and another person, he stands here guarding my back. I'm fighting here, and we are moving all the time together. We are keeping together. And actually, this fight takes something like 4.5 hours. Ilan said that the chopper driver, the chopperist, he calls him by phone. This is how we connect. There is no radios to the army, there is no radios to anyone, only by civilian devices. It's something that we cannot accept. We are saying it again and again that there is no direct connection to the army. We are saying it. Huh?
Why is that?
Because the army works with the encrypted devices, and it's very expensive and top secret. They cannot give it to civilians and take the risk that this kind of machine will fall to the wrong hands. So they don't give us the way to connect. And more than that, the terrorist was damaging the solar arms and electric supplies, and they actually did a very wide attack on all civilian
infrastructure.
yeah, there's actually in the south there is no electricity. And here there is because we are backup with the generators. Kibbutzes are more organized than moshavs. Okay, so the kibbutz have backup generators, and we have supply all the time, electric supplies. Shortly, around 11:30, the army is coming, and that time we start to fight back. We are not holding, we start to fight back. And that time, now the soldiers and officers start to get hit and start to get killed.
May I ask, sorry, if you're not communicating with them, how did they know who you were and that you were on the same side?
Okay, first there is two parts of our job. First, we are it's supposed to be the first 20 or 30 minutes that we are fighting. The army is coming, taking over. We call it a stick. We hand him the stick, and now he is in charge. Okay, but in this time it was so long time that when the army is coming, first a friend brings. There is a lot of actions that private people do. Okay, they come in, they fight with us, and this is sometimes a problem because I shoot at everyone that doesn't have a helmet. Okay, everyone that doesn't have a helmet and he looks like a soldier, I got shooting. I was shooting at him. Okay, so private warriors are not welcome here. It's dangerous for them, and we can only use units that comes organized with the whole equipment.
But you're still voluntary units on the kibbutz. You're not army. You're technically civilians.
Actually,
You're
I'm
technically
not exactly. As you see, I'm equipped and I trained more than a normal civilian, and more than that, I have the orientation of fighting. Okay, I was in the past combat soldier. I have the orientation of fighting, and lucky me, I could do that.
Yeah. How many terrorists were coming through the gates over there?
Okay, simultaneously they came in from the south gate and the north gate simultaneously. Now from the north gate they got into the kibbutz, they pressed the button, the gate opened, and they come in with the 6 or 5 vehicles inside. These vehicles are full of equipment, full of terrorists, and they actually spread in a forest, small forest, and they try to clean the kibbutz from this edge to this edge. In the other edge, you have the road junction of Kibbutz Reim, which is there is 2 very main roads one from the east, one from the north, and all the area have only 5 entries to the area by road. Okay, and if they take over 2 of them, and actually they took over 3 of them because you came from Kibbutz Reim, they took over the whole road of this Reim road, and they kept the junction there, and they kept the junction here, which it's 3 roads that are already occupied. Okay, it's a big mess that they did, and they had a very good preparing and planning. And there is kibbutzes that in this kibbutz, I believe, I didn't had a chance to speak with any terrorists, but I believe that they came divided to teams to do different works. Okay, one team, we stopped there, over there in the other side, they torched houses with the people inside. This is one team. Another team is kidnapping. They took people from the kibbutz, 5 people, or at least not 5, it was 7, but they killed 2 of them because they didn't have a place in the vehicle, so they killed them, and they took only 5. And taking over, there was fortunate in one house, and they was attempting to make a war room in another house, and all this is coordinated between 8 and 9:30 in the morning. Part of the terrorists came, did their job, and went outside. They are not here in the kibbutz anymore. From Kibbutz Reim, there was 48 bodies of terrorists that took it out, and around Kibbutz Reim there was more than 100 more around. This fight after the army came ends in 1.5 hours, something like that, with dead officers and soldiers, with injured soldiers. We are in Kibbutz Reim lost 5 civilians, and we had 5 captured people. All of them was released lately.
Anyone from your Kitat Konenut killed?
No, nobody from a Kitat Konenut. I was able to. Our fight was not to face them. We're only holding them, and we was acting like a terrorist. Okay, we are fighting the terrorist like a terrorist. We was hitting and run, This was the way that we did it.
How many were you with rifles fighting in the Kibbutz?
We was
Between 8 and 12.
seven at a time. Afterwards, there was another one that was joining me, and another person that was his wife was not at home, so he had to stay close to his children, and he was fighting outside his house. He managed to kill 2 terrorists, which I believe that their mission was to clearance his neighborhood. By killing them, he saved his neighborhood. This is how it works.
So there's 7 of you and there's 50 plus of
There were
them.
7 of us against 50 dead bodies that we know. There was more than that came in out, and there was the change. The big change is that the terrorists didn't come to stay here. They didn't come to die here, not to stay. They came to take over the kibbutz.
Do you think their plan was to actually invade and take over ownership, take control?
That was their plan from the beginning, because they had a lot of terrorists and they have a lot of equipment. Part of the equipment was a heavy machine gun that I believe that their plan was to place it above the junction and to control the junction. And more than that, the big change that we experienced is that each terrorist came with his own first aid equipment, and they actually took away all the injured terrorists that I could injure. I injured something like 3. All 3 of them are not here. It was not found as a dead terrorist.
Yeah.
They are not here. And actually, this
Did
is.
the Kibbutz did all the civilian security on the kibbutz have the equipment that they needed? Did they have the helmets that you said you shot
Actually, I
anyone?
don't have weapons for them, and I don't have protecting shields for them.
So you didn't have bulletproof vests, you didn't have weapons. Did they have helmets?
Who?
The Kibbutz Kananut.
The Kitat Kunut are dressed like me. They have
Right, but
everything.
sorry, so who didn't have vests and weapons?
The rest of the civilians and private warriors that came here. They came from the area. They finished to fight in the Magen Junction, and then they came here. Okay, and they are coming exposed. They are not dressed like a soldier. They are not. They don't have the vest. They don't have helmets. Sometimes people picked up a weapon of dead soldier or dead terrorist, and they fought with that.
So sorry, you were 7 of Kibbutz, and you held how many terrorists between 8 and 12?
50 to 100.
Something like 50 terrorists.
50
And we have a wide range battle. We have the fight in the south part, and we had the fight in this north part, and we actually was divided to couples, and because we know the kibbutz more than anyone, so we could shoot and hide, and let them deal. Like if the terrorists would come to this area, I wouldn't deal with them because it's empty, and I know that it's empty. They don't. They are getting in. They try to clear the place. I know that I can stay outside and wait for them to come out, because I know that this place is empty.
And then at 12, how many soldiers came to help you?
Afterwards, there was a division here, okay? But before that, there was 20 and another 20 and another 20. And actually, when the army started to come, they came with a lot of force. And each force was very professional, knew very good what to do. But the problem that they are not talking with each other. Each team was listening to himself in a way, okay, and they all come to the noise of the shooting.
Was there any Dutzia or?
I don't know. This question we are not investigate. It doesn't matter. He dead is dead. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter which bullet he got.
So from a communications
the-
perspective, that must have been very difficult.
Huh?
I mean, from a communications perspective, that's difficult. You've got units of 20 that aren't communicating with each other. You haven't got the equipment to communicate with them because you're not in the army, so you're...
You're right. You are very precise, but that's life. We are, in a way, after I start to be a fighter, I become a connector. Okay, my job was to go and pick a unit and bring her to the safest and fastest way to get into this region. And afterwards, there was a commander in the kibbutz. My job was to collect this unit, bring him to the commander, and he would give them a mission, not me. But in a way, in this part of the kibbutz, there was the most stubborn and hard fight.
And was there a big interaction between the kibbutz and the party, which wasn't far from him?
From the kibbutz into the kibbutz, there was something like 30 survivors of the party, or 30 escaper that got into the kibbutz before the terrorists came in, and they was locked in 2 shelters. The terrorist in Kibbutz Reim was not stubborn on the handle of the shelters. Someone that could hold the handle, they didn't deal with him. So from the kibbutz, we could save something like 30 survivors of the party, which is not the outside shelters on the road. They didn't have such a luck. They killed them by hand grenades.
Did you realize though, while it
No,
was
no,
going
I
on, what
was
happening?
here in Kibbutz Reim. I didn't know what's going on outside. I was only seeing, again, I don't have a communication, only telephone and walkie talkie of Iran. That's what I have. And now, after the war started, then we have this army radio. Okay, but in that time, this kind of equipment was encrypted. You couldn't connect the army. Okay. More questions?
Thank you.
Thank you for protecting. Yeah, כל הכבוד, באמת.
You want to see a little bit the fight area?
I need a